What's up, YouTube? So, as you see my title, it says my abortion story. So, the reason why I'm doing this video is because I read online about, it was actually on um, my phone, and it was a story about Atlanta, basically. Um, they approved the law where heartbeat abortion law, where usually I guess their law was within the first 6 weeks or 8 weeks or whatever, a woman is allowed to have an abortion. Well, with theirs, a heartbeat is heard within 3 weeks, so I guess a lot of females wouldn't be having abortions. So my whole take on that part is that, well, being a woman and being a woman who has had experience with abortions, because I've done that. Hey, how are you doing, Richard? Who's had experience with abortions? I want to say that I don't support it, and I did when I was younger because I didn't know any better. But as an adult, when I got older, I learned more about what was actually happening and changed my frame of mind. So the situation is this. Um, you have to consider the long run, the long-term effects of abortion. There is a long-term effect. And to think that it's not, sorry, I'm trying to plug my phone in. To think that there's not a long-term effect of abortion, there is. And I always think that God has punished me, and I know that He had, and I'll explain that later. So with my situation, um, I, I, okay. So when I was younger, I think I was like, I had my first child. I'll tell you, when I was only 14, and I was pregnant. Good afternoon. How are you doing? How you doing, Daryl? Um, so I was only 14. I got pregnant at 13 and had him at 14. And then I turned right around and got pregnant again. Well, my mom is totally against abortion. She's totally against abortion. But she took me to get one because I was only 15 years old. And she was like, you cannot have two babies like this. It was the same baby's father. My oldest son's dad was the same father. But she couldn't see me having another kid at 15. She was like, no. So she took me to the clinic, embarrassingly. She was already embarrassed when I was pregnant. I mean, she was there for me the whole way through. My mother wouldn't let me out of her sight. But the whole thing was that I know I hurt her a lot during that period. And I know that her heart was breaking for me every day. It was just embarrassing for her and for me to be a young female and have a child at that age. So I had to learn. And so then I didn't get it, I guess. I didn't get it. And so my dumb ass went out and got pregnant again. And so when she had that abortion, she helped me get that one gone. Um, I was kind of happy, but I was kind of sad at the same time because it scarred me because I didn't know exactly what abortions entailed until they gave me this pamphlet and showed me this pamphlet of these baby body parts. And then this will happen, like within that same week, this video popped up on television showing abortions, and it's showing these babies in these buckets and legs sticking out. And I was psychologically like going through something at the time, but I still only 15. It didn't click. So that was my first abortion. I had another one a few years later. Same father. We just kept messing him back and forth with each other, and he just would get me pregnant over and over. And I didn't take birth control. I mean, I'm gonna get it. That was back in those days, and they didn't really give young females my age birth control. So I didn't have any birth control, and he didn't wear a condom because he was older than I was. He's like freaking about 20 years old this time, and I was freaking 17, 16, 17, 17. I was 17. I think I was 17, but going on 17, and I got pregnant by him again. Well, naturally he wasn't there to support me again. And so I just, during this time, if you had Medicaid, which I had because I was on welfare and I moving out of my own mom, I moved out of my mom's house and moved out on my own, thinking I'm grown, and had another abortion. So that one didn't quite go well because half they didn't get all the baby out. I was still pregnant and I didn't know. So half the baby was in me and the other half was gone. So I ended up um, having to go in for emergency procedure to remove the rest of the baby, the placenta and all the other stuff that was left behind. I don't know exactly how much of the baby was left behind or how much of the what was left behind, maybe placenta, and maybe it was just placenta. I don't know, but I know I got sick and I bled so bad, I almost died. I passed out, and my son was barely about 2 years old, and I woke up with him patting on my face, mama, mama, and so that was abortion number two, and I went through all that. So, okay, I thought, okay, I'm learning my lesson. I learned Jack Stew. Yeah, life is very precious, Richard. It is, and that's why I'm trying to tell this story. That's why I'm telling this story because I didn't understand that. So what happened was I joined the army, right? And I met this guy. I am so irresponsible. I was so irresponsible as a young female, so irresponsible. I left it in their hands to take care of me instead of me taking care of me, which was the biggest mistake any woman can make. And I know you love that man, but you cannot put your future in their hands. You have to do it for yourself. It is up to you to determine, to decide what your future. If you have a house full of kids, it's not his fault. It's your fault because you got to protect yourself, especially in this day and age when they got pills, they got things you can put in you, all kinds of suppositories. They got everything you can use. So there is no excuse for you getting pregnant by some dude you just met, unless you want to be pregnant by some dude you just met, because babies don't keep men with you. Babies don't make men stay. So that's another topic altogether. So I ended up getting pregnant again. That's three when I was active duty. Well, actually, I had just joined and I was in basic training. I was in AIT. I'm sorry. I was in AIT. Oh my God. And I was devastated. Well, I didn't know what to do. We were actually done with our training and about to leave and go to our permanent duty station. I had orders. I was leaving. I'm pregnant. God dang, I had to leave. So I ended up leaving that unit, my AIT. It was in Maryland, at Edgewood, and ended up going to Fort Riley, Kansas, pregnant, and immediately scheduled an appointment for another abortion. Because the child's father was a guy who I was dating, but he was going to another end of the country. I was going here and he was going there. It's like, I'm stupid. You know, I'm in my 20s, I'm stupid again. So I ended up having another abortion. And I don't know. I think with all of that, it didn't right. So because I had had other two abortions, I ended up having miscarriages. And that caused me to have an incompetent cervix. So I had the two abortions with my older son's father, and I ended up getting pregnant again before that. Before this last one in the military, abortion, I was pregnant again. So I've been pregnant quite a bit, sad to say. And so I was pregnant by my two children, my son and my daughter's dad. But we had been pregnant before that. And so I didn't know that these abortions can cause you to have problems. Some women, it caused me to have problems. So I ended up with an incompetent cervix due to my abortions, and I firmly believe that. I know the body needs time to heal, but I didn't allow my body to heal. Time to heal. I was jumping. I don't know what I was going through. I was young and stupid, and so you're right, Richard. And I didn't allow myself time to heal. Period. Apparently. And that consisted on, and I'll continue with that part and tell you another part about that. So I ended up getting pregnant again, and then by my kid's dad, my son and my daughter's dad, not the same older son's dad, but a different guy. So we were together for a little period. He had went away to college, and we got back together again when he came back in college, and blah blah blah. So he and I ended up getting together. I ended up getting pregnant, but the problem was I had incompetent cervix unbeknownst to me. So when I got about 4 months in my pregnancy, which was a lot heavier for your uterus at the time your baby's growing. So by the time I got about 4.5, about 5 months, the baby was a significant size. But my uterus, sorry guys, sorry about that, my phone's tripping. But my uterus was destroyed at this time from the consistent abortions I had, and plus probably the botched one. And so I started going to labor, and I got up that morning, I was having cramps, and I was feeling that way. Well, actually, it was 4th of July, and that night I wasn't feeling quite that good. That day, the day before, the 3rd, and I kept saying, "Oh man, I'm not feeling well." I kept telling him, we were living together, and I kept telling him, "I don't feel good. I have pains. I got pains," and he was like, "Well, just lay down, blah blah blah." He said, "Okay, you'll be all right, blah blah blah." I wasn't still feeling well. I was having lots of pains. And I kept saying to him, something's wrong. And he was like, well, just lay down, probably just tired. And I laid down. And so the next morning I got up. Sorry, my phone's tripping. Oh no, here we go. Oh, sorry about that, guys. Dang on cord. Always do it to me. So I ended up laying down, and then I woke up the next morning, still having the pain. I thought, well, let me go take a bath. And I got in the bathtub, and I made me an omelet. I was hungry. I was feeling pretty good, but I was still having a little pain. And then I felt like I had to go to the bathroom really bad. So I went and thought that I was going to do number 2, but started pushing my baby out in the toilet. So that was half of the baby was coming out, and I was screaming because I didn't know. It just kind of shocked me at the time, and I lost it at that point, and all I could do was hold his head. I grabbed it, I put my hand there. I put my hand there to hold his head to keep him from. Oh, sorry about this stupid cord. Stop that. So I grabbed his head and I ran through my apartment because I was living in an apartment, but I was in an upstairs apartment at the time, and I didn't know what to do. So I put my hand where his head was coming out and ran to the window, like screaming and begging for someone to come help me. I didn't know what to do. I didn't know what to do, and I didn't know what he was gone because he had left and went to go run an errand or something. This darn cord is killing me. Sorry about that again. I'm gonna have to buy a new cord. This one just does not act right. Freaking cords are expensive. So anyway, I waited for him. I tried to wait for him to come back, but he didn't come back. And I screamed. I tried to call him. He couldn't call him. And then I just screamed at the window, "Help! Help! Help!" And I was screaming and crying, and my neighbors heard me screaming and crying. So my neighbors came over, and I said, "We can't get in. You got to unlock the door," because I was the only person there, and there was no one in the bottom to open up the bottom door. And no one. My other neighbors were gone, and there was no one to open the door. So I had to go down the stairs. I had to grab a towel. I'm still holding my baby in at the time because his head was half out, and I'm just panicking. And I wrapped the towel around in front of me, and I slid down the stairs. And it was like a significant flight, at least about 15 stairs. And I opened the door, and they saw the blood running down my leg and the baby hanging out. They saw the blood running down my leg and the baby hanging out. So they called the ambulance, and that was it for that. So, but then, not about years later, It was a years later when I had the last abortion that I had when I was in the Army. That was some years later. I was like 25, I believe, at the time. So I kind of just laid low away from babies, and I actually kind of went celibate and just stopped dealing with men, period, after my boyfriend and I broke up. I just was kind of like, I'm not dealing with men for a while. So I did that, and, well, actually, no, I didn't. I'm lying. I'm not lying, but I got that wrong. I ended up getting pregnant again by him, but I didn't know I was pregnant. And so we broke up. And I was going on by my way, going on down the road, and come to find out I'm pregnant again. Yeah. I got pregnant when the wind blew. It didn't make a difference what. I'm just pregnant. And they were obliging me and getting me pregnant too. It was just totally crazy. I don't know why I let myself go through such things as a young female, but I did. And I guess because I didn't love myself at the time, so I let people who didn't love me treat me any kind of way. And so I ended up being pregnant with my son, and he's alive. But my incompetent cervix was an issue. I started going to labor when I was 5 months with him. I was about 5 months pregnant with him. And I was going through the same pain sitting there on my couch, like, oh, I got these pains again. And, oh my, something's wrong. So some told me, go to the hospital. So I jumped off my couch and took my butt to the hospital. And they were like, oh, you're in labor. You're about to lose your baby. So I was in the hospital for like 2 or 3 weeks. They put a cerclage in, and that's basically when they take a suture, they sew your cervix closed. It's like if you get cut and you have to go get stitches. So it's like they put stitches inside your cervix, which is, like I said, it's shaped like this. And so they just took the stitches and they sewed my cervix shut so that so it wouldn't dilate and me have a baby. So I had to do that. And my son was, how old was I don't remember how far along my son was at the time, my youngest son. But I had to go on bed rest. And so then I had my son Lonzo. Then, I guess, lo and go, my son Lonzo was 2. I got pregnant again. I know you're like, she stays pregnant. Yes, I did stay pregnant, it seemed like. All of us do is getting pregnant, having babies and abortions and stupid shit. So I ended up getting pregnant by my son's dad. Yeah, well, Kegel is a way to strengthen, but I was young, so I don't know anything about that. I know now because I do it, but I didn't know then. And so, dang on freaking got pregnant again. Well, my son Lonzo was about 2. He's about 2. And his dad came over to see him. You know, how you walk down memory lane and you're looking good that day. And he saw me looking good that day and was like, damn. So then, that was only the one time. We did something. I swear that was it. The one time I'm pregnant. I lost it. I was crying all over the place. I was boohoo crying. I was just crazy in my head. Couldn't figure out why am I pregnant again. Oh my God. And so I'm begging him, please, 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 please give me the money so that I can go get an abortion. Because I don't want to be pregnant again. I don't want to be pregnant again. We got a son and you ain't even take care of this one. I don't want to have another baby with you. You don't even take care of the one kid you got with me and your older son. You ain't take care of him either. So there's no way I'm bringing. This man said, I know I don't have a lot to give. He said, I don't have anything to give you. He said, I don't have anything to give my kids. He said, but please, don't kill my baby. I couldn't do nothing but cry. Because I felt what he was saying, but I just knew that in my heart, I was like, oh my goodness, I can't do this. I can't do this. I'm a mother of 3. I can't do this. This is too much for me. I can't do this. Lord, why am I being punished? And then I realized that I had abortions. And so, yeah. So then we went through this whole little spill. My son Lonzo, you know, got older and stuff like that. And my daughter Asia got older, and I decided, well, I'm gonna join the army, and I joined the military, and I left them with family members, and that was a whole nother story. I have to tell you about that situation. They decided they didn't want to give my kids back, so anyway, I had, like I said, while I was in basic training, AIT, I mean, and I'm getting pregnant again by the guy. I don't know what's wrong with me in this situation, getting pregnant. I don't know how many pregnancies I done told y'all about so far, but I kept getting pregnant. At least like 6 kids, 7. That's not even, I don't know if that's even including the live ones I've had. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 7. That's a lot. And that's a lot for a mind to just deal with. And so, it's hard. I decided that, okay, well, I had that abortion, and then I met my husband. Well, he was my husband then, but I met him, and then we got married. And so we had a child together. After we got married, like a month or so later, I ended up getting pregnant, you know? And we had pregnancy scare, one pregnancy scare during our relationship, just dating. And I was just like, I don't want to have any more children right now. And I'm especially not out of wedlock. If we're married, then I might be able to do it. But right now, I'm not trying to have little kids with a man who's not marrying me. So we got married, and then a month later, I ended up getting pregnant. We got married in March, and we got married in March. Yeah, I found out I was pregnant, and I was having surgery, actually a procedure done. I had a mass in my breast, and they were going to take it out and do a biopsy and whatever. When I got there, they were like, "You're pregnant, Mrs. Green." And I was like, "That's my married name, Green." And I was like, "What do you mean I'm pregnant?" And they're like, "Yeah, you're pregnant." I was like, and so I went back to the base. And I was sick, I was a specialist. It said, "Specialist Green, you're pregnant." So I went back to the base, went to my appointment. I had to go and tell my husband, "Dude, I'm pregnant." So he was happy, blah, blah, blah. So um, after we had our daughter, I got pregnant. He went out to the field, and my daughter had just been born in February. Lo and behold, this dude got me pregnant again. So by May, I'm pregnant again. But guess what? Lo and behold, there's no OB doctor on post at the time, so I couldn't get birth control because I was begging for birth control at that point. When I had my daughter, I was like, "Look, I'm getting some birth control. Please give me some birth control." They said, "We have no OB doctor." There was no OB doctor available. There was no freaking physician to give me any kind of birth control period at that time. So, and I was begging for something. Like, please give me some birth control because I'm not having no more kids. I'm done with this mess. Nobody. Not just me got pregnant. Every single female who had a baby and some who didn't have babies, all of our bus was pregnant because we had no birth control on that at Fort Riley. There was no freaking birth control to be found. You heard me? Condoms. And you know these dudes married, they didn't want to have no use. I'm like, "Please use a condom." No, I said, "Dude, you're gonna get me pregnant again." Lo and behold, I'm pregnant. This dude turns around and says, "I want you to have an abortion." And I understood when we were boyfriend and girlfriends and stuff like that, but he was my husband, and that broke my heart. I think that kind of destroyed me from him. It drove me from him, and that was a constant reminder of him. To me, and that hurt me deeply. So it was like I never came back from that with our relationship. But I say that to say, having abortions, I understand people make mistakes, but those children did not ask you to do irresponsible things. Like none of my children asked me to do irresponsible things. And because of the fact that I had done it, I was having issues carrying children full term. I almost miscarried my daughter, I almost miscarried my son. And I did miscarry one kid because of my cervix incompetent. And I couldn't carry him full term. I can't carry babies full term. Well, I can't carry babies anymore at all because I had my tubes tied. I was done with that. But I couldn't carry him full term, and I just didn't want to. It's a consequence to everything. You have to think about that. And if you don't want to have a baby, by it's a particular guy, there's ways to not have a baby. There's birth control of different types or abstinence. Just don't fuck nobody. Sorry about the language. Sorry. You could just not do that. Okay? You could definitely use a condom. Well, hell yes. Hell yes about what? Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Don't do it. I'm just saying, if you don't want to be taking care of babies, don't strap on a condom. Men, girls, there's female condoms. Hold on. I gotta look at your message. Hold on. I'm trying to see your message. It says, hold on, I'm putting on my reading glasses. Oh, I can't think of those. If you think you were looking for love or something you were missing from your childhood, or were you simply with the physical sensation you had with your partners? Um, you know, Spacely Man, I think I was looking for love because I didn't feel loved. As a young female, my dad was not around. My stepfather was around. He raised me actually, and he used to take me fishing and spend time with me. But then him and my mom broke up, and I just felt like lost. And for many years, I just felt like I just need someone to love me. I just want someone to love me. And no one, I haven't found a man in this world, well, except for one, who actually showed me some love. He showed me some love, but the love came with a consequence. The consequence of his love was, you're going to lie to me and cheat on me. So that was the consequence. He showed me lots of love, but he cheated on me. And he lied to me consistently. From the beginning of our relationship, always lying. Well, thank you. I'm glad you're right here. Um, I just had I had just was looking for the wrong things when I was younger, and to me, I guess when young females, and I guess that's a lot of young females today, they associate sex with love. They think that sex means love. But when you are dating a woman, if you have no intentions on being with this woman, please do not go off sleeping with her. Don't fuck her. Just go away if you have no intentions. Because of the problem with females, and men don't have this issue. When women or females are young, their association of sex is love. They think that they're intertwined. Well, they're not. Sex does not mean love. It's not an intertwine. It's not intertwined. It's two separate entities. But when females are young, they don't understand that one is separate from the other. Love is involved in something more subconscious. You can have intimacy, and that involves love. Love has intimacy. Sex is a sensation. It's more in a physical situation. It doesn't involve, the two does not correlate with each other. They don't intertwine. And a lot of times with females in their mind, they think that love and sex are combined, and it's not. And so I think that's what I went through, thinking correlating love and sex. And it didn't work out like that. And I ended up having 3 abortions, and it tore my body up. It just messed me up. And as a young woman, suffering with that. I mean, at the time, I didn't understand that. But when I got older, I kind of understood what was happening with my body and what I had done later on down the line. And so, no one asked to be here. What if your mother had aborted you? What if your mother had... I'll tell you this. I wouldn't be here right now if my mother had made a decision. My mother had my sister, my sister, and she met my dad when my sister's dad was off and he was in Vietnam. And my dad didn't go because he was at the time the only boy, and he was in college. So my dad was at Michigan State, and so they didn't make him join the military, you know. But my sister's dad was. He was in Vietnam fighting, and my mom met my dad in a Corvette. My mom was beautiful, and my dad jumped out the middle of the street. My mom was traffic backed up. He said he tells the story to this day. He said your mother had traffic backed up all the way down the road, them long legs, and she had creamy skin. And oh, sorry about that, y'all. My phone, my cord. He said she had creamy skin and she was walking down the street. She was strutting. He said, and she just was so fine. She had on some little short shorts, and you know that's what they wore back in the day. And he told how my mother caught his eye, and so many males was trying to get at her that day. It was summer day, and we were in Michigan. He said, and he pulled up in his Corvette and asked him, "Did you need a ride?" But they didn't stay together because my dad was a player. He was a hoe. So guess what? All he was trying to do was get some. And then my mom got pregnant with me. My dad, he's off. He went off to where he was. He came back from. I guess he was home for the summer or something. He went back from where he came. It wasn't studying me or my mama. And my sister's dad came home, and there I was. Boom, Abaca. My mom wanted to have an abortion. She wanted to get rid of me. She told me that. I was the only kid she had. She wanted to abort. Because I was in the middle of the two. I had my sister, her dad, their dad, and then he had two more kids with my mom. My two brothers are his kids. So she had 3 kids with him and all, but I was the one in the middle. That was a constant reminder that she cheated on him. And she told me she wanted to abort me. And I used to be hurt by that, but then I'm glad she didn't. But then my daughter, the situation with my daughter, I wanted to abort her, and I'm glad she's still here. My daughter Asia, she's beautiful. She's the love of my life. I love her, and she's a beautiful girl. And I'm glad I didn't abort her. I'm glad I kept her. I'm glad she's still here. So I'm just saying that you don't know if we got rid of some of the people the abortion people are going abortion crazy. Some of these people that's here now, artists and inventors, if mothers had decided to abort, or even you, and your mother said, you know what, I just don't want you, I don't want to do more kids, and she decided to have an abortion, you wouldn't be here. And we all have a purpose. We all have a purpose. So I applaud Atlanta for not allowing these females to abort these babies in a heartbeat. And you hear a heartbeat, you can't have one. Good. And I don't think that it's fair. I wouldn't think it's fair, like if you were raped by someone, and say like somebody came in and raped you, and then but you have to it'd be proven, okay? You ain't gonna just say I was raped and just have an abortion. No, you need to prove that you were raped, because that person needs to be behind bars. Okay, something you gonna press charges. Somebody's going to jail, and then okay, I agree with that. But as far as just randomly just killing babies because you don't know how to keep your legs closed, and I'm guilty of that. I think that's not the way to do it. I didn't do it. I learned my lesson, and it took me a long time to get there. I was young and stupid, but I want you to know that every child matters. You may have said it's gonna be a hard time, but money don't matter. Life is the only thing that matters, and life is so precious. And you don't know what child you done brought into this world. You don't know what creator you brought in this world. You don't know what inventor you brought in this world. You don't know if you brought the next president in this world. You don't have a clue. Because when I remember growing up and thought we would never have a black president, and we had Barack Obama. You don't know who is the next president, and you could be having that next president. It could be your son or daughter. So don't do that. You know, I understand it's going to be hard to take care of them, because it's hard. But don't. One thing about my kid's dad, I can say I admire about him, is that he said, okay, no problems, basically. I appreciate you stopping in. I thank you so much. I just want to say I just want to say that everyone has a purpose and everyone's special and everyone's. I'm glad you all are here. I mean, I'm glad. I'm so happy that every single one of my subscribers, and those who haven't subscribed, and those who are here on this earth, I'm so glad you are all here. I don't. It's not even about a color. I love all of you. I don't. It's not like the deep love, but I have love for human beings, and because I love you all, I have feelings, and I care that everyone's alive, and I'm glad you're here, and I'm glad you're breathing. And I'm glad your mother didn't do abort you. I'm glad she made sure you made it to this earth, because without you, it wouldn't be the same without you. It wouldn't be the same without you. So I'm glad you're here. And I want you to go home and kiss your mama and say thank you for bringing me here. You know, sometimes we don't appreciate our mothers for doing that. You know, yeah, it was a terrible thing that happened what I did, and God punished me for that. I suffered punishment, and I was willing to take it because I knew I was wrong. But you know, I learned my lesson from that. So don't. I know it's going to be hard and it's going to be difficult, but don't abort your babies. Don't do that. Keep them. You don't know who you got in your hands. So that's my mother. My mama said. Thank you all for coming and sharing this story with me. I know it's got kind of long, and I just hope that this helps some young lady not do that. Because trust me, I was only 14, and I'm here, still here. And it took me a minute to accomplish things, but I did that. You know, I came through a lot of adversities, having 3 kids in the beginning, and you know, finished my high school diploma on the honors list. I joined the military, went to school to be a surgical tech, got my degree. I'm doing things, so you know, I guess like my certification at my job, uh, medical. I just got I'm being certified. I'm a certified registered medical supply technician. I got my certification for that. And I'm working on my next degree right now. So I mean, okay, yeah, it took me a while to do that, but that don't mean you can't do it. And you have to be willing to put in and sacrifice. If you're gonna make these babies, then you're gonna have to sacrifice some things in your life. And that's just the way it goes. But don't kill your baby because you aren't willing to sacrifice, because that's your fault. You did that. Tell the guy wear a condom, get some birth control pills. There's freaking suppositories. There's freaking all kinds of things you can get. IUDs. There's everything you can use. All kinds of things. There's a women's condom, a female condom. All kinds of things you can use. There's things you can use. If you don't want to have any children, and you don't want to take care of them, and you don't want to support them, there's things you can do actively, and instead of out having abortions. Don't kill guys' babies off. Because you're going to pay for that later on in life. If you wonder why your life is hard, that's why your life is hard. And that's why it's going to stay hard. You have to repent and stop doing it. And just love your children harder. And don't do that. All right. Well, I'm done ranting about that part, y'all. You know, like I said, I tell my people, don't judge me by some of my past discretions or even my current ones. I'm trying to help, and I'm trying to just, in these 50 years I've been on this earth, I've learned a lot, and I hope that some of the things I've told and some of the stories I've led have helped someone, or help someone get some understanding, or change some minds. That's all I want to do, is just help. That's it. So, I'll see you guys later. Peace and love.